Hello fellow growers, I'm Andrew from Tail Waggin Farms, and here are my pepper picks for the year 2024. I like to call myself an aspiring pepperhead. Last year we grew 106 pepper plants of 44 different varieties. And this year I might have gotten a little out of hand already with my seed ordering because I'm up to 75 varieties that I plan to grow this year. I have a freezer full of peppers from last year, jars of dried and smoked peppers, and a ton of different varieties of hot sauce that I've fermented and bottled up. It's the first week of January, and I'm already about to start some of my super hot pepper seeds to get a jump start on the 2024 season. So I wanted to give you my 5 varieties that I grew last year that I absolutely loved, and the 5 varieties that I'm really looking forward to growing this year. First things first, let's talk Scoville heat units. This is the measure of how hot your peppers are. Traditionally, this was a measure of how much sugar water it would take in relation to an amount of pepper to neutralize the heat. For example, a jalapeno is 2,000 to 8,000 Scoville units. So if you had 1 tablespoon of jalapeno mash, it would take between 2,000 and 8,000 tablespoons of sugar water to neutralize, or somewhere around 8 to 31 gallons of sugar water. Now they measure this by how much capsaicin is in the peppers, which is good because they're just breeding hotter and hotter peppers with higher and higher Scoville units. Now here are my 5 favorite peppers that I grew last year, in no particular order. Number 1, the Jedi jalapeno. This is a traditional jalapeno. Pretty large fruit. They're great for stuffing, using fresh. They were pretty mild earlier in the season. Towards the fall, they started getting a little bit of kick to them, got a little spicy. They ripened to a beautiful red color. They were took to smoking great and made wonderful chipotle peppers. They were very prolific. Decent sized plant, would do good in a container, and just a great all-around pepper that had a long harvest window and just kept putting out peppers all season long. Number 2 is the ají limo or lemon drop pepper. This was arguably my favorite pepper of the season. It is just citrusy, great heat, tasted great fresh, tasted great dried, was great in hot sauce. The plants were super small, just 2 feet tall. They would do great in a container or a grow bag. Super prolific, loads of peppers. No disease pressure, no pest pressure. It was just amazing. That's all I could say. They tasted delicious, and I couldn't get enough of them. The third plant I absolutely fell in love with this year was the guajillo. I love Mexican food, and the dried guajillo pepper is a crucial ingredient in a lot of this cuisine. I grew 3 plants in the hoop house, and they took over. They were very prolific. They grew about 3.5, 4 feet tall, and were just loaded down with 5-inch pepper pods that ripened to this beautiful red color. I used them mostly in the dried form, and they have a taste that's very complex. They're kind of smoky, tangy, sweet, and frankly made a great enchilada sauce, and they were a great addition to a lot of my salsas. I also used them fresh as well, which most people don't recommend. But when they were young, the skin was still thin enough that they were great sauteed up with some onions and thrown into enchiladas or into tacos. Definitely going to grow them again this year. I just was a great all-around pepper. The 4th pepper I fell in love with this year was the herbal chili. This is a staple in Mexican cuisine as well. It's a little milder than a cayenne, but the flavor is so much deeper. It is more nutty and smoky and just has an all-around, more complex flavor to it. It was great, used both dried and fresh in salsas, hot sauces, and I really enjoyed smoking the peppers this year over oak wood or apple wood, and then I ground it up and turned it into a fantastic chili powder that is great on everything. Number 5 on the list of peppers that I loved last year was the boot jolokia, the red ghost pepper. This was a big plant, and it took a really long time to produce, but man, once it started producing, I had a boatload of super hot pods. they're flippin' spicy. It's a real burner that just, the heat lingers. But once you get past that heat, there's a citrusy taste to it that's just delicious. I found that fermenting them for a month or two to make hot sauce really tempered down that heat a bunch. And my favorite hot sauce I made this past year was actually a pineapple ghost pepper hot sauce that was just delicious and the heat wasn't overbearing. And everyone that has tried it has said it's one of the best hot sauces they've ever tasted. Now here's the 5 peppers that I look forward to growing the most this year. I bought all of these seeds actually from the same place, Bohica Pepper Hut. They seem to have a great selection and there was a lot of different peppers that I really wanted to try. Number 1 on the list though was the Sugar Rush Stripey. Just look at this beauty. It's described as having thick walls, fruity flavor, cayenne-like heat, just super sweet. Sign me up. That's right in my wheelhouse. Number 2, the Ahi Pineapple. Similar to the Ahi Limo, but with a slightly different flavor, reminiscent of pineapple. I think this could really be a staple part of my hot sauce game this year, and I really look forward to trying this one. Number 3 on the list is the Fatali pepper. All the chili heads seem to agree that this is a great pepper. Supposed to have a great flavor, good level of spice, and it's beautiful. I mean, look at this pot. Look at the color on that. On a side note, we ended up naming one of our stray cats that we just rescued Fatali because she is a spicy little monster. She's adorable, but she'll tear you up. Look out. Number 4 is the Thor's Hammer Peach. This pepper looks intriguing to me. It packs over 1 million Scoville heat units, and it's this nice light color. And my goal this year is I really want to make a light colored hot sauce that's an absolute scorcher. So I think that the zingy, citrusy taste with the upfront heat that this pepper is said to have provided will be one of the elements in that hot sauce that could really balance it out to make a really hot sauce, but with a flavor that lingers and lasts a long time. I'm looking forward to growing it, and it's a beautiful looking pepper. Number 5 on my list is the legend that is the Primatali pepper. This is evidently a cross between a 7-pot Primo and a Fatali pepper, and is regarded by a lot as one of the hottest peppers in the world. It just looks mean. I'm fascinated by the wrinkly skin, the tail on it, and I want to see if it lives up to the numbers. We'll see. As a bonus, I wanted to give you one of my least favorite peppers to grow. It's the Ahi Charapita. I've grown this the past 2 years, and they're super small pods. They're about the size of a pea. They're a pain to harvest, and like other Chinense species peppers, they just take forever to produce. You could grow other peppers that have a more citrusy flavor and an equal level of heat. If you have room for an extra plant, sure, but the yield for the amount of space it takes up, just in my opinion, isn't worth it. I'd grow an Ahi Limo instead, or something along those lines. Well, fellow growers, I hope you're looking forward to pepper season as much as I am this year. Let me know down in the comments if there's any peppers I need to add to the list to grow this year. See if maybe we can get it up to 100 varieties. Well, keep it spicy. Happy growing. Thank you for coming to Tail Wagging Farms. Have a great day.